Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanishalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminithi Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. In this session, we will be continuing to discuss from the 19th verse of the 12th chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the second part of the discussion of the same verse. I'll read the verse and the translation and then we'll continue from where we left off in the previous session. The verse, the 19th verse, Brahmana Uchuhu Partha Prajavita Sakshad Ikshvakur Iva Manavaha Brahmanya Satyasandhascha Ramo Dasharathir Yata. The meaning of this verse is, the learned Brahmana said, O son of Pritha, this child shall be exactly like King Ikshvaku, the son of Manu, in maintaining all those who are born. And as for following the Brahmanical principles, especially in being true to his promise, he shall be exactly like Rama, the personality of Godhead, the son of Maharaj Dasharatha. So in the previous session we discussed that what is the meaning of the word praja? Those who have taken birth in the material world. And Prabhupada explained why we take birth in the material world, what does it mean to take birth in the material world, and how a saintly king as a representative of Krishna, who is the maintainer of everyone. Krishna is the maintainer of everyone. A saintly king as a representative of Krishna gives protection to all those born in the land where he is ruling. So, Srila Prabhupada is explaining about the saintly kings because Yudhishthira Maharaj made a reference to saintly kings of the past. And it is foretold that this Parikshit, who's just taken birth, will also be a saintly king like the forefathers of this dynasty. So Prabhupada says these saintly kings give protection to all the prajas or living beings to live and to fulfill their terms of imprisonment. This body is actually a prison house because this body is imposing so many limitations on the spirit soul which has got freedom. Just like every spirit soul is free to travel in any part of the Lord's creation. Every part of the Lord's creation. But we should remember that moment we are inside this body imposes limitation on my mode of travel and where I can go and where I can survive, what atmosphere I can survive in this body. See, the soul, as far as I am concerned, as spirit soul, I have no death. But then, if I go to a place which is not suited for my body, then the body will die, body will perish, body cannot survive. So therefore, there is a need for giving protection to living beings, all the prajas, to fulfill their terms of imprisonment. When I get this body, there is a certain duration I have to live in this body according to my karma of the past. Only then my desire to enjoy in a particular way, materially enjoy, will be fulfilled in this body. So the saintly king, they give protection to all living beings without exception, to live, not that unnecessarily somebody is killed and the king is a mute spectator. Just like nowadays, so many cows are being killed and they have a right to live. Why are they being killed? So therefore, the cows also require protection. Trees are being cut indiscriminately. So that is also against the principle of the scriptures that even the trees require protection to be given by the king or the ruler or the government. The trees also, they have to live within the tree body for whatever their duration. So this is very, very important point, that the saintly kings used to give protection to all varieties of living beings in their kingdom, not just only human beings. Today the understanding is only human beings have to be protected. For the government, concern is protect only human beings. What about animals? What about the trees? They also require protection. That's why spiritually enlightened people understand that there is spirit soul in the cow's body, there is spirit soul in the tree body, there is also spirit soul in the human body. Some religious faiths, they say, oh, there is no soul in animal body, there is only soul in human body. This is wrong. This understanding is completely wrong. From the scriptures we understand there are different varieties of bodies, different varieties of species of life. This is the correct understanding, this is the scientific fact. So, Srila Prabhupada explains, Maharaj Parikshit was actually an ideal saintly king because while touring his kingdom, he happened to see that a poor cow was about to be killed by the personified Kali, whom he at once took to task as a murderer. See, Prabhupada is giving an example. This will be explained later. How Parikshit Maharaj dealt with Kali Purusha, the personification of this age we are living in, Kali Yuga. Kali Purusha, he was about to kill a cow. When Parikshit Maharaj reached that spot, immediately he took out his sword and said, how dare you harm a cow? I am going to kill you for even attempting to kill a cow. So, Srila Prabhupada says, this means that even the animals were given protection by the saintly administrators, not from any sentimental point of view, but because those who have taken their birth in the material world have the right to live. You see, that way some people have sentiment, no? Oh, poor dog, poor cat, poor mouse, or poor some creature. Different people have different sentiments towards different creatures. But this is not a king who sentimentally feels for some other birds or animals. No. It is a scientific fact that every living being has a right to live, having taken birth in this world by the arrangement of the Supreme Lord. They have a right to live. And if their right is violated, then those who violate that are punishable. If they are not punished by the king, then they are going to suffer punishment in the future by the laws of nature. By the laws of nature, they will be suffering. So therefore, it is said here, the animals are also given protection by the saintly administrators because the animals also have a right to live. All the saintly kings, beginning from the king of the sun globe down to the king of the earth, are so inclined by the influence of Vedic literature. See, this Vedic literature are very important. It's only in the Vedic literature you find the facts explained about who am I, what is this world, what is the nature or constitution of all the other creatures, those who are also living, the animals, the birds, the insects, the reptiles, the plants, the trees. Who are they? They are also spirit soul. They also have a right to live. They also feel pain when they are hurt. Of course, cows, we can hear them cry, and when they are harmed, when they're injured, they also bleed. But there may be some creatures who don't show such symptoms of pain. But there have been experiments done on some trees or some plants that they also respond to different kinds of treatment, and they show symptoms of life by which they respond to different kinds of treatment. So, according to the Vedic literature, every living being has feelings. That originally belongs to whom? To the spirit soul within the body. The body may not be having the facility to express. Just like a child, if it is having stomach pain, it cannot exactly tell its mother, my stomach is paining. So what will the child do? Just cry, that's all. So the mother has to figure out, why is the child crying? Is it crying because it's hungry? Is it crying because there is some stomach pain? It is crying because the ant is biting its toe? The mother has to figure out. The child cannot express. So does it mean the child cannot express, therefore it doesn't have any specific requirement? No, it has, but it cannot express. Similarly, the plants, they feel pain, but just because they cannot cry, so does it mean they don't feel the pain? So this is the mistake of the modern civilization, who are uneducated, who don't have proper knowledge, and who are unaware that if I give pain to somebody else, I'll be punished by the laws of nature, that I also have to suffer similar pain in future. Therefore, when the king gives punishment, then the king is doing a great favor to that soul or the person who is inflicting the pain. He gets the lesson that I should not unnecessarily give pain to others, because then I will be punished, then I have to suffer pain. Atmavat sarva bhuteshu. If I suffer pain and I don't want to suffer, similarly others also suffer pain, they should not be given pain. We should not inflict suffering on anyone else, any other living creature. So this is the philosophy of life. This is the philosophy of life. The Vedic literatures educate us in this philosophy of life. Live and let live. Live and let live. The Vedic literatures are taught in higher planets also, as there is a reference in the Bhagavad Gita about the teachings to sun god Vivaswan by the Lord, Supreme Lord Krishna. And such lessons are transferred by disciplic succession, as it was done by the sun god to his son Manu. Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavanam Avyayam Vivaswan Manave Praha. Vivaswan, the sun god, he has a son by name Manu, Vaivasvata Manu. That Vaivasvata Manu is ruling in this Manvantara the human beings, and he was taught First of all, Krishna says he taught the Bhagavad Gita to the sun god. Sun god means the controller of the sun planet, the ruler of the sun planet. And the sun god taught it to his son Manu, Vaivasvata Manu. The same lessons which Krishna taught to Vivaswan, sun god, same lessons Vivaswan taught it to Vaivasvata Manu. And from Manu to Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku is the first king in this earth planet, in this Manvantara. Ikshvaku. So Ikshvaku's name is mentioned here. Like Ikshvaku, this child will be maintaining everyone perfectly, whoever has taken birth in the land, like Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku was famous as a saintly king. Like him, this Parikshit also will be a saintly king. So I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.